Hi everybody. Anybody that's looking for a career to get into that is pretty low cost but very lucrative, I suggest cosmetology. But cosmetology is not a field that you want to get into and take lightly. There's many fields in cosmetology that you can explore, like nail tech, and the one we're going to talk about today is an esthetician. An esthetician is somebody who works with your skincare, and you don't do the same things as a doctor does. If you see a problem, you can suggest they go see a doctor. You can recognize a skin issue before it becomes a real issue and suggest they see a doctor. But no, you don't do medical treatments. But you can take care of the skin and makeup. You can do makeup on people. I think that's really lucrative. Especially, when you're doing somebody's hair, if you have makeup that you like to do, if you like doing makeup. I would suggest getting all the way into it. If you're going to do it, do it. Usually, if you're an esthetician, you work for a company. That's one thing I don't like because I don't like pushing products. You kind of forced to in order to make your money. I would rather tell the truth and tell people, that really beauty and hair growth and all that comes from what you put inside your body. Although there are some um, exceptions to the rules. But anyway, in the past, salons only offered traditional services such as hair care, hairstyling, and caring for wigs and hair pieces. Today, modern salons offer skincare, makeup, um, like for daytime, evening, and special occasions, corrective and therapeutic skincare and makeup, eyebrow shaping, eyelash application, manicuring, care of hands and nails. 6, pedicuring, care of feet and legs. Removal of unwanted hair on the face and body. 8, consultations to coordinate colors of hair, makeup, and fashions. People, I am looking on a book, and I can't tell you which one it is because I don't have permission to use this book, and so they would make me take this whole video down. But defining terms, esthetician would be somebody who specializes in skincare rather than hairstyling, and they may also manufacture, sell, or apply cosmetics. And like I said, as a highly trained specialist, estheticians provide preventive care for skin and offer treatments to keep skin healthy and attractive. Unless the esthetician is a licensed dermatologist, he or she does not prescribe medication or give medical treatments. However, the esthetician is trained to detect skin problems that require medical attention. Another term is cosmetician. Cosmeticians have cosmetology license and perform a variety of personal services in the salon. Another term is beauty therapist. Beauty therapists perform services that are intended to remedy or alleviate a disorder or undesirable condition. Practitioner. The term practitioner refers to anyone who practices a particular art or profession. Makeup artist. Makeup artists have been trained to embellish or beautify the facial features by the skillful application of cosmetics. They work in salons or can expand into theatrical character makeup. Theatrical makeup would be great. I mean, it would be like if you have a character in a play who is pretending to have a huge nose or something like that, then you can build it out. That sounds really fun. Um, or somebody, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but that's easy. But then you could build ears onto people, um, lips, a chin that protrudes. Anyway, many makeup artists are also cosmetologists and or estheticians. The makeup artist assists clients in selecting skincare and beauty products so that you can create the best look for your client. Then you have makeup artists who do TV, and they take care of people who are on TV. And then theatrical often serve, in order to get on there, you serve as an apprentice. And then you're serving as an apprentice under a master makeup artist. You might want to look on YouTube for that one girl who was Prince hairstylist. She's really interesting. Then you got dermatologist. That's a physician, as you know. Plastic surgeon, that's a surgeon. Restorative art specialist. Let's read that. Restorative art specialists restore the facial features of the deceased. They have been trained in the scientific aspects of cosmetology and mortuary science. Cosmetologists and estheticians sometimes work as an assistant to morticians and restorative art specialists. In some states, only a licensed mortician may work on the deceased. That's doable. I could do that. I have done it. I did that for my sister because I was going to do that. I loved her very much, and I was going to make sure she looked right. Okay, opportunities for licensed esthetician in the cosmetic industry. Okay, you can do merchandising, and that's in salons, department stores, boutiques, specialty businesses, etc., etc., etc. Manager or salesperson, but then you have to keep records of your sale and stock on hand, selling to clients and cashiering and demonstrating. And you got to have thorough product knowledge. Cosmetic buyer or assistant buyer, I think that speaks for itself. A manufacturer's representative is great because you would be guaranteed somewhat of an income. For this position, you must have a neat appearance and outgoing personality and sales ability. Direct sales, demonstrations, and sales presentations. That sounds like fun. Research and research assistants. Trade technician and technical supervisors. Specialist in restorative art or assistant to a mortician. Beauty editor of a newspaper, magazine, or journal. I did that. I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot because you have to do a lot of research to make an article for a paper. And you always have more information than you actually publish. Let's read that. Beauty editor of a newspaper, magazine, or journal. If you have talent and training in journalism, you may wish to pursue a career as a beauty editor or editor's assistant. As a beauty editor, you might write about manufacturers' product to stimulate readers' interest and boost product sales. You may write a daily or weekly column, a question and answer column. I did that. Feature articles or educational books and brochures distributed to teachers. The beauty editor may also lecture, do fashion coordination and commentary, and make media appearances. I did that. I did some classes at MCC, 8-week courses in beauty, and we covered different subjects every week. It was we met once a week. And I also did. I worked for MBA Journal, which was located in Muskegon, Michigan, under the auspices of Mr. Charles Fair. Here in Detroit, I write for Detroit Smart Pages, but it's nothing like this. It's more of a just talking about places to go. Advertising and sales promotion. Cosmetics and grooming products are heavily advertised on TV. Freelance writing and lecturing. Personnel manager. So, opportunities for experienced licensed estheticians in education is public vocational. That was a lot of fun. I taught vocational school, and I taught for kids who were between the ages of 16 and 18, and that's a real important time of their life. That's the time that they're at a fork in the road. They can go to a good place or to a bad, and you could be the last adult who could show an interest in them and push them and keep them going in the right direction. So teaching vocational school was a plus for me. It has to be a calling. It has to be a calling, even more so than cosmetology, because working with teenagers is not easy. I made my mistakes. I'd love to go back and correct them, because I feel like I could have seen things more from their side of the desk, because teenagers are going through a lot of stuff that other teenagers didn't even have to go through. Like when I was their age, I didn't have to go through any of that unless I made myself go through it. Excuse me. But anyway, I had teenagers. Saddest things. I had teenagers whose parents would run away from home. One student, her mother was leaving her in this house where the rent was due, so she can go to Ohio, she and a friend of hers. And the landlord was kind of shaky. And the only help this girl had was her boyfriend, and he was very shaky. He was, they're teenagers. Teacher or related subjects, substitute or part-time teachers, department head or assistant, teacher of skincare, teacher of related subjects. So in other words, if you get your cosmetology license, you can go on back and get your teaching licenses. And it doesn't take that long. You can become a school director or owner. And you don't even have to have a cosmetology license to become a school director, nor do you have to have licenses to become a salon owner. State licensing inspector or examiner, a state licensing member, a guest artist or demonstrator, education director for a manufacturer, makeup artist for portrait or commercial photography, assistant to a dermatologist or cosmetic surgeon, Um, Research specialists or assistants. Makeup artist for television, stage, motion picture, fashion shows, esthetician, and makeup artist for resorts, cruise ships, and health spas. When I was in school, um, a young lady got a job on a ship before she could even finish school good. I remember her name. I hope everything turned out okay for her. I mean, what would they be doing getting a young girl who don't have her license yet? That is kind of suspect now that I'm grown and look back at that. Ooh. So anyway, yeah, I hope it all worked out for her. I know we went on a cruise, and I was quite glad to get back on the ground. And I don't think I would want to be away on a cruise ship for 6 months. It was a lot of people working on the cruise ship, and we were sailing across the Atlantic. And it just made me think of slavery. I mean, oh, they was the guys who worked, who scrubbed the decks and all of that stuff and cleaned your room. They might have been professional con artists, because every morning they would say, "Hi, Miss Ginger, Mr. Marshall." I mean, you wake up in the morning and there they are. You go to bed at night, there they are. And you're like, do they ever sleep? What kind of life do they live? Do they make enough money? And then one day, my husband and I were having breakfast, and we were by the ocean. We were outside on the patio, and he said, or on the deck, and he said, "Ginger, did you know that this is the water that the slaves came across?" Well, that ruined my trip. That was it. I didn't enjoy the cruise because I saw too much human suffering. So I used to write for Detroit Smart Pages all the time, and after having been on that cruise, I've been stuck. I ain't got nothing to say, because I had promised to write about this cruise. And I, ran the idea by my husband, how I really felt about it. And he said, no, he said, that's not a good thing to write, because when you're thinking about a cruise, you're thinking about a happy time and whatnot. So, yeah, that girl that went away on that cruise ship, that can be heralding being on a cruise ship for 6 months. And then they probably live in small quarters and stuff like that. When I was young and in school, I thought, oh, that would be the best, is to work on a cruise ship. In my spare time, I'll be doing this, I'll be doing that. I bet you don't. You'll probably be so tired you won't do nothing but lay down on your little tiny bed, probably a cot. So, yeah. But I still say that being an esthetician or a nail tech is a good thing. Anything to do with cosmetology is a good thing. I had been out of the industry for some years, and I came back in under a chain salon, and having had my own business, that's something that you're not really looking forward to, because you feel like you're not going to make no money and yada yada yada. But at this stage of the game, it was good for me to go in through that way, because cosmetology is constantly changing. And I don't know, with my age, and of course, not being in my own hometown and moving somewhere else, no clientele. So working for a chain salon is the best bet for me. And a chain salon constantly educates you. and teaches you how to develop a clientele, and it teaches you some of the corporate structure, so that if you ever decided to go into business for yourself, you could. And I think it's a good idea, as far as, well, it's a good idea to become an esthetician, but the best idea is to get your cosmetology license, because in Michigan, um, esthetician comes up under your cosmetology licenses. Just the idea of your being a cosmetologist, you can also do hair, skin, makeup, and stuff. There is getting ready to be laws passed saying that you have to have individual license to be an esthetician. But right now there isn't. And you can get your cosmetology license and also become a nail tech. And, and even if you work for one of those corporate chain salons, it's a good thing, because you can, every day you'll have gas money, with your tips that you make and whatnot. And so that makes things real nice. So yeah, I would definitely go through a chain salon if I had to, which I am, because I do have to. So yeah, so all is well. Um, in today's uncertain times and stuff, I definitely would go through. I'm definitely happy that I got cosmetology licenses. Um, they've always gotten people through. And one time I didn't show you. One time I attended Mr. Dudley's school, and he's a black millionaire. You might be able to find him somewhere on YouTube, but the video YouTubes of him don't do him justice. He's a great guy. And, I went down to his school, and he's a millionaire, and he sat down in the cafeteria, a millionaire, sitting down among us, eating and stuff and telling us stuff. Somebody asked him something, and he got up and just started making a speech for our lunch hour, and it was great. It was real good. And, he was just saying that you have to have perseverance and stuff, and he was saying that cosmetology will get you through the most difficult times of your life. And I would really love to go into wiggery. Not that fake wiggery, not the one that you make on nets and all of that simple stuff. I'm talking about being able to do prosthetics for women who are missing hair in certain spots, and they really need their hair to look real. They really need a good job done. I'm talking about making wigs that can cost upward of $3,000 to $6,000. Get that good human hair and just really make it look real. And when I attended Dudley's cosmetology school, I did get strand by strand training, but I want more. I want to do that. It's a lot more I want to do. So, hey, as far as age, don't nothing get old but clothes. I mean, I take good care of myself so that I can do the functions of my job. If you're going to be in cosmetology or nail tech or skincare or any of that stuff, that's kind of physically demanding, and you need to exercise. You need to eat right. You need to get your fluids in you. You got to take care of yourself. And for the next video, we'll talk about your professional image. Okay, y'all. Take care. I love you all. And I know I rambled on a lot. especially about that cruise ship. But bear with me. I'll get better as time goes and as I learn to embellish these videos. Take care. Bye.